Hi friends, it's Deanna Williston with Our Blooming Catholic Life, and I'm going to get to the dog walking story in just a moment. It's really fun. But first, I'm going to give you an update on one of the water projects at Mutemwa Leprosy Care Center in Zimbabwe. So kind of exciting because they care for people not just with leprosy anymore, but they have people with all different conditions, as well as they help out their families who are staying there while they're getting their treatment. It's also become a site of pilgrimage for Servant of God John Bradford OFS, as well as they have some sustainable agricultural projects going. They've expanded the chicken flock. I believe they have a number of pigs now, and they're hoping to get some farming started on a larger scale so they can provide for themselves as well as be able to sell to the community, and those funds would go back in to help support the center. So they had a sort of a socially distant fundraiser. It was like a kayak-a-thon, and I believe it was a descendant of John Bradford's family, a relative of his, and someone else, and they kayaked. And so people pledged, by the mile, by the kilometer, or just gave a donation. And praise be to God, they're able to get 2 large water tanks installed in time, hopefully, before the rainy season starts. So it's very exciting that they're going to be able to harvest the rainfall that's coming and be able to support themselves and others. It's such a blessing. I wanted to let you know that. So my kind of fun then Water Wednesday talk is walking the dog. And it may seem something so simple, it's ridiculous, but I walk my dog several times a day. It's partially for my own sanity. Even when I was working on either of my master's programs, oftentimes I would do my reading and read the questions I would have to answer for our discussion, and I'd take the dog for a walk, and I could process my readings and the question better during that kind of time of solitude walking the dog. And it got into a habit. I also lost some weight in the process and stuff, so walking the dog is still a big thing. And then, of course, in this COVID time, we've gotten to know so many more neighbors by walking, so we want to really continue it. One of the great things when you're walking a dog in this day and age is that on his leash somewhere or in your pocket, you're probably going to have some form of a baggie, probably more than one. I have a little container on his leash that's a dispenser that I can pull them out of. And so when I come across trash, especially in COVID times, I don't want to be picking up trash with my hands. I don't know where it came from or anything. But because I have these doggy bags, you pick it up the same way you do your dog's business. You can pick up stuff off the road. So today we were able to pick up a very smashed looking fast food bag and all its contents, which was really gross. So I was really glad I had that doggy poo bag and to get it off the road. The other day we actually were able to do something even better. It was somebody's medication was spilled on the road, and I'm being generous. I'm hoping it wasn't some kind of illicit drugs, but they were a bunch of white pills. Some were already smashed on the road, but those were whole. I was able to use this baggie to pick them up safely, tie it up in a knot and get rid of them safely. And so that danger wasn't there for any. A lot of small children are walking now, so as well as the animals. So I was definitely frightened to see that out on. It was on the main street, granted, but still, so scary, friends. So I was so grateful. So I'm walking the dog. I'm increasing my sanity. Right? Giving myself a little peace and quiet and letting my brain process. We're meeting friends all the time. We met a new friend today. It's a neighbor we've never met before, and normally she doesn't walk, but she's dog sitting for her son and had to walk his dog. So we got to meet her today. That was fun. And we met another jogger. Like, where are these new people coming from? I have no idea. Honestly, friends, I live in a little neighborhood, so it's kind of funny how many people keep popping up that we're meeting. And that's just a great way to build community. And of course, we're staying socially distant, all that, don't worry. But so we're able to pick up trash, we're able to get some peace, and we're able to make our community safer and build our community. And we've added a new element. I'm so excited. So some of you might know that I follow the St. Kateri Conservation Center online in different formats. And of course, you can get your yard or prayer garden or whatever certified as a St. Kateri habitat. If you have that, you have to have in your garden, you would have food, water, and shelter for wildlife, right? as well as a prayer space for humans. So that's a nice element. You could add any of our nice, lovely statues. Don't worry, this candle over here is actually battery operated. So I can have it set off. It's a little shelter here on my back porch. So I can have that set to go off at any time. So a little safe there, just to let you know. That's a nice addition if you have just a little patio, like you have an apartment and you just have a little tiny patio off the back. Your St. Kateri habitat could absolutely be some potted plants and a battery operated candle. Right? A little prayer space like that that's just on a little patio table. Battery operated candles and a nice little statue. There's also a nice outdoor St. Francis statue. I don't think I put this marble one just outside, but she's nice to have in here. So it can be something super simple. Now, if you're doing a patio style one and you're attracting something like butterflies, you're going to want a plant that the butterflies are going to be attracted to, the adults, but you might also want to find out what plant they lay their eggs on, and it could be super fun to have that as well. People know for my swallowtail butterflies, I like to make sure I have parsley. Swallowtails love a lot of different flowers for feeding, the adults are attracted to, but the little ones need the parsley and different things in that family. So it's always super fun to have that, but you might want to research what butterflies you have in your area. How are you going to do that? I have a great new tool. So the St. Kateri Center is doing a bio blitz. It's a relatively short period of time where they're trying to catalog as many animal species as they can. Now, the St. Kateri Center is not doing what is focused as some people do. Some people do it in a very small community in a very short period of time. So they are asking that you give at least a half an hour. If you can't spare a half an hour in between now and it's September, this started in August, until the end of November, this isn't the project for you probably, but it might be, so hold on. So yes, this project is running until the end of November. It's a simple little program. You go in, you download the app. The app is called iNaturalist. Can't get much easier than that. And on my phone here, it is the little app. It's a little white app with a little green bird on it. iNaturalist. It's free to download. Once you go in, you set up an account like you normally would in something, and you're going to want to join the team. So if you go under the ... in the bottom where it says more, once you're in it, projects, and under projects, I joined the St. Kateri Catholic Bio Blitz 2020. Now that word saint is spelled out. That's the important part. St. Kateri Catholic Bio Blitz 2020. There's also featured projects that they're going to give you. They're going to, like, National Moth Week 2020. And then you can click on nearby. Oh my goodness, I have a lot of them nearby. That's pretty exciting. Ooh, fun. So that's local parks, different neighborhoods are having events. There's tons of these nearby. Oh, this can be super fun. So what you're going to do is go in, and if you follow me at all, you know on Instagram is where I post all my nature photos. I try and take nature photos when I'm out walking the dog. And so I have all these great nature photos already on my camera roll. So I started uploading them last night. I would go out here. The bottom is looks like a little camera button, and it says observe. So I'm going to click observe. My choice is no photo, camera, or camera roll. So I'm going to choose camera roll. And then I can choose pictures that I took recently, and you can select several. I don't know the limit. You can select several. So if you have several views of the same animal or same plant, you can add them all. And then you're going to go in. Well, I'll have to delete it later if I add one. You would go ahead and add one, and you're going to put some details about them. So let's see. My content. You're going to put somebody in. Aha! I had said I have a lot of pictures of my toad in my front yard. I named him Herman. And I had said he was an American toad, and someone has suggested that he's an Eastern American toad. So when you put your animal in, it's going to ask you what you think it is. And if you don't know what it is, it's going to actually give you a suggestion based on your photo. And then other people are going to get to comment. So you can put in any notes. You can put in a location where you found it. And you can be as specific or as unspecific as you want. There's also a feature where you can obscure it. So it might just say your town, but not your street. So you can choose that. If anybody, a scientist, is actually doing a study on that particular animal, they could always contact you anonymously, right? Through your username, they would contact you and ask you for more information if you were interested. Um, so people are always suggesting things. Now, some of the people I disagree with, and there's definitely some small children on here. They have some very easy insects just labeled as insects, like praying mantis, insect. So there's definitely a child in my neighborhood who is also doing this, and it's kind of fun to see what their observations and their funny little photos. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this community. And this morning, surprise to me, a local Maryland group that's dedicated to butterflies and moths. They curate all the sightings of butterflies and moths in Maryland. And so they picked a number of my photos to be in that group. And so that was kind of exciting for me. They didn't have to. Like I say, there are people suggesting different identifications than I did as well. Or like when I just picked mushroom, hoping somebody gets on there and says what that actually is at some point. I know it's a mushroom, but that's all I know. And you can also find out more information when you click on them. So I thought this one butterfly was a spice bush swallowtail, and when I click on it, it tells me a little paragraph about it. There's also a link. It shows me the map of observations of that species, and then I can also click on the little link at the bottom, and it's going to take me to iNaturalist.org and give me even more information on that species. Ooh, lots more. So if you are homeschooling a student right now, this could be a fabulous tool. And even if you aren't, so I'm having great fun. And I can do it all while I'm on my walk, but that's a little distracted and probably not so safe. But I can take the pictures and kind of remember, I kind of know where I've taken them. I don't walk very far. So I take the pictures while I'm out on my walk, and later on I will upload them. Really, each picture takes 3 minutes to put up. It's not rocket science. It's super easy, and you are definitely helping mark the biodiversity of your area. And there are scientists who use these databases. So it's pretty darn exciting. So this is all I'm doing on a simple dog walk. Imagine all the ways you can make your community better through simple things that you do every day. If you've got an idea, put them down in the comments below, right? And share with them, because we'd all love to learn what you're doing. God bless, friends.